Ivan, thanks a lot for taking the time, man. How are you?
Thank you, Fabio. Always happy
Now,
to see you.
I think that this is going to be an amazing conversation because, like, we already had extensive conversations when I was at Brick, because that's where you
Mhm.
work. Um, we spent a lot of time on the roof talking, sort of like bouncing ideas off each other regarding this conversation. And I wanted to talk to you because of a lot of things, because of the academy that you did. I also did it. It was very beneficial for me. That led you to get a job at Brick. So I do
Mhm.
think that there is a lot that we need to unpack. But first of all, before we start, why don't you, well, we start. Why don't you introduce yourself and tell me who you are and what you do?
Yeah. Thank you for all your beautiful words, Fabio. Yeah, My name is Ivan. I'm a lead 3D artist now at Brick Visual. I'm Mexican. What else? We met here at Brick. As you said, it was at the academy where you were at the academy. And to me, it was really nice to meet you here because I knew about you because of the D2 and everything, but we didn't have the chance to meet before. So yeah, it was really cool. And this is me.
Ivan, how did you start
Hmm.
in the field of architecture visualization? Really, I want
Hmm.
you to tell me everything from the very beginning until you got the job at Brick.
Okay, it's kind of a roller coaster because I studied industrial design. And when I was on the university and everything, I was having a business with some friends doing furniture and doing this industrial design stuff. So we had this business. After it, by the way, I was like awfully bad at 3D on my university. I was so bad at 3D modeling, but yeah, we had this business, and then I moved from that city, from Mexico City, to another city, and I stopped having this business with my friends, and I was just doing nothing at home and everything. So my mom suddenly told me, like, why don't you take a course or something about whatever, just to do something? And that way I started looking for some stuff, and I discovered like a media school teaching 3D and other things. So I was like, okay, this looks cool. I will go into it. And I just started doing my basic modeling stuff. After that, I was just exploring this 3D world. And suddenly I was like, okay, I'm starting to like this kind of architectural stuff. So I took another course back in Mexico, and then after it, I was so bad, compared to what I know now. But I was like, okay, now I'm crushing it. Maybe I can just look for a job about this. So I went out just looking for a job about this stuff, and I found an open position on a construction company. Um, so I started working there. They immediately accepted me. I don't know why, but they immediately got me there. And from there, I really started doing this full time and every day, like for 2 years. Every day I was doing, and they were doing tons of houses and construction stuff. So it was like super rushy. You had to deliver every day something. So from there, I learned a lot because it was 2 years of just pushing myself to keep learning, keep learning. And after that, uh, this construction company went broke. So I just started freelancing, and I was doing great for, I think, like 3, 4 years. And one day, I was just there working with my girlfriend and everything next to each other. And I saw this open position at Brick, and I was like, okay, maybe I will apply or something, but I was not sure. I was like, okay, maybe not, maybe later. And she was like, okay, just do it. Just send an email and everything. And I sent the email, and they told me like, okay, great, your portfolio looks good. We would like to make you a test. And I was like, what the fuck, a test? What did you say? But yeah, it was a test that it's doing, like Brick is doing a test to each person applying to the job, just to get used to this draft. And they want to look like how fast are you and your ideas and everything. So I did this first test, and they were like, they answered something like, okay, we can see something there, but we're not sure. So we will give you the chance to do it again. After that, I was like, okay, I don't, because the test to me, I was so based on doing everything in 3D, and I did no post production. I mean, just a small post production, but nothing crazy. And these guys asked me like, okay, you have to deliver a nice image in 4 hours, you know? And I was like, but the model is completely empty. Like, what should I deliver? So after the first test, they told me like, okay, maybe you can do it again. Maybe you were nervous or something. I did it again, and they still told me like, okay, we see something in you, but why don't you get the post production course, and after that, maybe you can apply again. So they gave me the post production course, and I took it. It was in African time, so to me in Mexico, it was starting at 11 p.m. Until next morning. So I
Oh
was every
wow.
day just not sleeping to, because I was so excited about this. Like, I don't want to wait until the America time of the post production, so I took it in the African time. And on the after the post production course, I really understood like how to deliver these nice, powerful images in just a couple hours. So with what I knew before, combined with what I learned in the post-production course, to me, like, the world opened to a new world. So after that, I applied immediately. I remember we were saying like this goodbye last class, and someone said, I think it was Andras. He said, I don't know, maybe if you guys want to apply, and I immediately said like, okay, I want to apply. So he told me like, okay, apply. And on this third time, they were convinced about why I delivered. And this is how I got here. And it has been a really nice ride from there, because this is my second year almost, but it's 1 year and a half since I got here. And to be honest, I have been learning every day still. And I got this opportunity to become a senior 3D artist, and then a lead 3D artist. So I don't know. Sometimes I cannot believe how fast everything went through, but yeah, I'm lucky to be here, and I don't know, keep learning. And now I can just not just learn, but teach something. So
Let me ask you something, because you moved from Mexico to Budapest.
yeah.
Tell me a little bit about the move. Was it something that you had to think about? Were you excited to move to Europe? Uh, how does it feel now to live in Europe?
Well, when I got this yes from Brick, like, okay, you got accepted, I was just shocked, and I told my girlfriend like, okay, do you want to move to Budapest? And she was like, okay, just let's do this. And we have three cats and one dog. So it was another issue, and we had a lot of stuff, like furniture, bikes, lots of clothing. So it was kind of we just said like, okay, let's remove everything from our lives, just not the pets, obviously, and let's just go there. So to me, it was my first time here in Europe. Um, and from there, since I moved here with my girlfriend, it was like we just solved everything. Uh, yeah, like starting new life, new everything. So it was really cool. And our first time here in Europe, obviously in Budapest. So we were discovering a lot of stuff, and now we have been traveling a lot here, like between countries here. And I don't know, it's been a really nice ride since.
It's a good thing when you have a partner that it's crazy enough to say, yeah, let's just do it.
Yeah, without thinking, because she's crazier than me in this aspect, because sometimes I have to rethink and say like, okay, is this my best option now? Maybe I can wait or do something else. And she's always like, okay, if you want to go there, just do it now, like forget about everything. And yeah, in that case, like it was like that, and I'm so happy about it because she's always following me, and I'm always following her to whatever she wants to do. So it's really really good to have a partner like that.
Let's talk a little bit about your position, because often you hear, mid-level this artist, junior artist, senior artist. What
Mhm.
is that differentiate your position from any other sort of like level of artist, 3D artist?
Okay, like I can start by just saying which are the starting positions here. That, as you mentioned, is junior 3D artist, 3D artist, then senior 3D artist, and then we have several branches from there. We have lead 3D artists, project managers, it's like lead specialist, and we have different branches from there. From the senior position, you have like several options. So what differentiates my position to maybe a 3D artist? Well, I will start maybe explaining one of each one of those. So if you come here at Brick and you get accepted as a junior 3D artist, what it means is that, okay, you can I mean, you have the technical knowledge of the 3D stuff, lighting and all these concepts that are involved into this rendering stuff. So as a junior, you obviously had they had to accept you because of your eye, and they can see like you have a really nice taste or really nice ideas or concepts in your head, but uh, you are not mature enough to maybe handle an image from starting to the finish line. So in that case, you are a junior because you need some guidance into, okay, uh, where to move from your nice ideas to become a really nice image. So that's for the junior 3D artist. It's like, okay, maybe they will need help in a daily basis, like maybe they will struggle in something, but the taste and the concepts like this person has, it's really cool. So let's push this person to become better. So from there, as a regular 3D artist, uh, in that case, you are you can work individually, but maybe with some help and guidance. But you can just finish your image and do your own stuff without that much of a help. So as a 3D artist, you are responsible of your decisions on your image, about everything. And maybe I'm just explaining so fast these positions, but that's the main difference. Like as a 3D artist, okay, you are now not a junior, so you can do your stuff, you can research your stuff, so you can solve your problems somehow, and maybe you will need some help in very specific cases, and that case everyone is gonna help you, and that is like that. As a senior 3D artist, from there it starts to become a little bit more specialized, because as a senior 3D artist here at Brick, you have to be like so convinced about your decisions, and you have to handle in a better way and faster and more efficiently, like your time, your planning, how many images are you going to deliver, the quality of the images. Obviously, if you are a senior 3D artist, that means that you can deliver a proper image in the time that it's required. And sometimes on the drafting days, you saw how it's here. Maybe you have to deliver 3, 4, or 5 images in one day. So for these drafts, and they have to look, all of them, at the same level. You cannot do like one like gorgeous and the other four like So as a senior, you have several expectations on you, and you have to comply with these expectations. So this is mostly the most basic way to explain it. But as a senior, you have to be confident about your decisions, your planning, so everything is going in a more efficient way. Then from there, as a lead artist, that it's where am I? It's you have all the other responsibilities, but then you have some extra ones. That, for example, here in my team, um, one of my roles it's to just go one by one during the day, like how is it going? If I can see something that can be like, yeah, that can be fixable or can be improved, I can help them doing it, even if they are seniors or they are 3D artists or whatever. My role is to like a kind of quality control, as you can, if you can say that. It's like, okay, I have some discussions with our creative director, that it's Alex. And between him and me, we're discussing how to get the images even better with what the 3D artists are doing and what the senior artists are doing, what we can improve on them to make them even better. And just, popping some ideas and discussing this. Apart from that, like my role as a lead 3D artist, it's also like pushing the team, not just to improve their images, but I have to deliver super nice images to push them into, it's like being a leader. So you have to give an example of how you do the things. So I cannot go with someone and say like, okay, you should, I don't know, clean your file or do this and that, and I'm not doing it. So I have to be an example of how things needs to be done. And I don't know, like in post-production, in the modeling, in the in the creative process of delivering a draft, or how I research stuff or whatever. And my role involves just to teach, if you can say like that, like just to give this contagious knowledge of how to do stuff and how to deliver even better images every project. So this is
What
most
would you what would you say is the hardest part of your job on a day-to-day basis?
on a day to day. Well,
Talking to Andras.
no, it's I don't know, the hardest part. I don't feel it as hard, but there are some days more stressful than others, and stressful in a nice way. Like you are more active and you have to think more and you have to be more creative. Like on the draft days, these are our more rushy days, that a new project comes and you have to be introduced to the project after we did the pre-work and everything. But sometimes you don't know what you're gonna draft on, so they introduce you to the project. It tells you the brief, what the client wants, the views, what are the expectations of the client, what they want to focus on, and everything. So on the draft days, we have a lot of information that comes to your head in the morning, and through the day, you have to just process that information and translate it into a nice image that the client wants. So it's a lot of stuff happening in that day. So to me, these are the most stressful and exciting days, because you are like, these are the creative days, and whatever you are, I don't know, whatever you are doing, these draft days are like a potential day where you can deliver and create a nice image for yourself, for the company, for your portfolio. So this is a very important part of the process in my, in my case, and I think in the case of all of the artists here, as I would think. But yeah, this is the most exciting and stressful.
Let's talk a little bit about
Mm-hmm.
creativity in general, because to me, the what I'm curious to understand, at least from your perspective, you do a lot of like manual repeat work, because
Mm-hmm.
usually what the architect and the client want is always more or less the same thing. So how do you push the boundary? How do you make better work? How do you find ideas that can change the status of the stuff that you create?
Well, it's true that, I don't know, the only thing that the client, like all the client wants, it's like have I don't know, like their project becoming a beautiful piece of art in their computer screen. So that's the only thing that they want. Like they all want that, and they want to show it. And maybe if it's for marketing purposes or for competition or whatever, and like all of them want like a beautiful image of their project. But besides that, I think even if we are doing buildings like every time, they are like different shaped. The client and the geography of whatever the buildings are, it's completely different. The seasonal kind of greenery or vegetation. So every time we have a different kind of challenge, and that's also coming with the brief of the client. Maybe there are some clients that they really worked on the, I don't know, like lighting on inside of their building, and they want night images. Or if they really focused on the, I don't know, creating a very organic shape of their creation, they are like, they want to show this concept that they had in mind. And that's why we have like these first kickoffs and everything, where the client explain us what's the process behind the building and what are their expectations. So in a way, it's true that we are always doing kind of repetition in the technicality of,
Yeah.
you know, yeah, 3ds Max, you know, doing this modeling stuff. But the creative process comes like, for everything we have to follow references. Like if for example today we worked on a project that it's in Asia, and you have to follow certain stuff that it's happening in Asia, but you cannot maybe place Australian trees, or you cannot place out of the place objects there. So you have to follow a reference of the site and do everything the 3D related stuff similar to that. So in that way, it's different in every project. And there are clients more boring than others regarding, like, yeah, regarding the projects, but all of them have their own challenges. So in that case, to me, it's like, okay, even if the project is, I don't know, school, yeah, university, or federal building, and it's just boring or whatever, you have to find a way to make it exciting. And not, maybe not for the client, but also for you, you know, like for your mental sanity. You have to get creative ways to get this different way to show whatever he wants to show. So because that we are not doing the regular renderings, you know, like if you go into, I don't know, a regular 3D artist that it's not pushing himself to learn to have an eye for this composition, colors, and whatever, it becomes all the same. But here we try to push everything. Like if there's a story in the image, deliver that story in the best way. If the building has certain characteristics, show them in the best way. So the colors should be matching completely the reality. So there are a lot of stuff that you have to be aware of. And in every case of this process, you have to be creative to solve these problems that comes to you with this project. So in some cases, it's faster than others, but every time you have to solve different issues. So for me, this is the in the technicality, the creative way to work. But if we are talking about like how to get these creative ideas when we have to draft, I think it's all about, and I think we discussed this, like training your brain about like watching a lot of photography, films can work, whatever you can, like you have to get a lot of this stuff into your brain. So you have certain ideas of what can work with, I don't know, a center a composition, or a right heavy, or a left heavy, or a wide perspective, or I don't know, an aerial, whatever. So if you have a lot of storage in your brain already taken by this kind of information, like images, moods, stories, everything, you can start combining them, you know, like, okay, maybe I can try to mix this nice idea that I had one day with this project that maybe they can be mixed, or in that case, you can start doing a lot of creative stuff. And yeah, I think it's mostly that, like just watching a lot of different stuff. I try to watch a lot of photos every day about different projects, different colors, different moods, so I can be more aware and more used to this, like.
I find it fascinating sometimes, when I see certain artists, how they live their lives, uh,
Mhm.
leading really a creative life, basically. You mentioned Alex, he's the creative director of your team.
Yeah.
He goes out and does photography, and it's like he's always looking at things through a frame, and probably you do the same. But to me, this is it's fascinating, this hunger for always wanting to look for beauty in things, and
Mhm.
you can really look at anything and find these natural proportions, that are all around us if you are trained enough to see them and to recognize them, right?
Yeah, yeah, and that comes also with the not just the proportions, but also the imperfections on things. So what makes more believable, I don't know, like a material or whatever you have on 3D, it is the imperfection. So if you have just a flat box, it's never gonna be realistic. But if you start applying, these imperfections that we have in the world, like, we are not conscious about all the imperfections that happens in our surroundings. So sometimes even if you did like a very nice 3D model of something, it's if it's missing this subconscious stuff that we process every day, and your brain, without you knowing, it's not looking at it, it's looking fake. So you have to be also aware of what are these things that can make even a material or a story or a composition more believable with this kind of imperfection. So, and sometimes, as you saw on this academy stuff, on the draft days, you can deliver realistic images, but it's not because of the small details. It's about the colors, the lighting, the composition itself, and these imperfections and this stuff comes later, and it's adding more realistic feeling to the images. But the realistic feeling is coming, yeah, mainly from the lighting, the colors, and the composition. But it's true that these imperfections, if you start adding more imperfections into the regular stuff, it's becoming more natural to the eye of a regular observer. So it's not looking weird from yeah, for someone looking at the image. So it's
Even
a lot of yeah, yeah.
the brick is really AI hungry. Like you guys use it a lot in your workflow. I've had the pleasure also to test a little bit myself with also the tools that you guys are developing.
Hmm.
Tell me a little bit about your experience with AI. There is still a lot of uncertainty around the whole topic because people are afraid. It's
Hmm.
I don't think that um like the majority of people will say, yeah, this is the end of everything. What about you? What is your opinion? How is it that you're using these tools, and how do you see this helping our industry evolve?
Okay, I mean, to start, we have a team like focusing on this research and development. So they are playing around with this and creating these tools to like for us to to improve our lives, not to replace us, but to improve our lives as a 3D artist. So right now, as the technology that we have right now, we can use this AI to get things faster. So what we use the most, it's for characters. So we have this stable diffusion tool that we just have this 3D character or a just roughly positioned 2D, and you can get it in a super nice way and super realistic and everything. And in that case, we are using it to improve our lives because you are saving your time to maybe improve other part of your image or thinking about other concepts or other, yeah, focusing yourself not in a character that maybe just needs to be realistic, but it's not that important to the it depends if obviously if it's a hero character or what's the story there. But AI right now, it's just saving us time to use our time to focus on other stuff. So this is something that we do, and we are gonna we already have this tool to create references from I don't know. I have a composition, and you can create a reference with AI for your composition, and you can prompt your moods and everything. But at the same time, like, I don't know if I'm going a little bit out of your question, but we are using it like right now. But at the same time, we're trying to um, not use it at the beginning of the in the first phases of the images, because yeah, AI can detail your image, can fix the colors, can whatever. But and I was discussing this today with Alex, that if you are using these tools, and a lot of people are hungry about them, like, okay, why cannot I just improve this today with AI? It's my draft, and I will move on without detailing anything on the 3D. So AI is gonna do everything. But in that case, to me, it's like you are not learning what's the important thing about the process. I mean, we all use it, and it's cool to use it, but it can slow you down in your learning process, not just in this technical stuff like 3D, but also in your keen eye, or your whatever you are training your brain for. If you start shortcutting everything, you are not training yourself to these circumstances, because I don't know, if for some reason we have a problem that cannot be solved with AI, you need someone that it's not used to this tool to solve these problems,
Yeah.
so if it's okay to use it, and we use it in some cases, but we are also trying to not use it uh, in these first phases, and it depends on how developed the artist it's in its career. Because if you already have like I don't know, you have a super talented brain and a super talented eye, and you already have a lot of technical stuff, maybe in that case you are using this AI, and you will have um, a better way to decide which this two AI stuff is better, like, but you have to develop this first, like the keen eye of the things, the like differentiating these subtle color variations, or subtle I don't know, stuff that it's making an image like not believable. And I think you have to train your brain first, and then you can start using this. So yeah, this is my opinion right now. Like, okay, we can use it, but first train yourself, because I don't know, like, even for the career, or if you want to do personal stuff as a 3D artist, the exciting part about a personal project is, like doing everything manually, and a lot of detailing, and trying and testing nice stuff. But if you are just doing now like prompting on your basic 3D or whatever, I think it's not that exciting, at least to me. Maybe some people are like crazy with this AI, and their boundaries are different. Just they are not knowing any 3D, and their career is just this AI engineer. So it depends. But in our field, I think you have to develop yourself first, and then you can move to these tools to shortcut your
I
process.
understand where you're coming from, and I agree with that, because I think that what a big part of creating is this discovery journey that you take when you use certain tools. And I've heard people comparing AI to some sort of like advanced asset management system, because that's what
Mhm.
you do. You take a lot of assets and mash them together, and arguably people might say that we do the same thing in 3D with assets. But the process of like positioning those assets, moving them around, moving the camera around, moving the light around, probably one day we're gonna have that level of control also in AI. But for now, this is still part of the discovery journey that an artist has to make. And I think that it's plausible to think that AI is going to push down the quality of the mainstream work, because
Mhm.
usually people tend to do everything that is similar to something that they've seen. Whereas real artists that take the time to think about stuff and push themselves to do more, um, yeah, they can do it with AI, but they have to put the time to actually do the
Mhm.
discovery, right? And so I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
that separation will always stay there. Um, I don't think that any tool will take that away, because that discovery and that journey is a very much a human aspect of creating.
Yeah,
I
and
might
also I don't know.
I might be
No, sorry,
wrong.
sorry.
I might be wrong. I don't know. But for now, that's how I personally feel.
Yeah, and even now, like there's a lot of super powerful tools to create realistic images, but sometimes even AI can do weird stuff or weird colors or whatever. And if you are not experienced and you don't know how things work on this, also like relating lighting, color, moods, whatever, if you are not trained, maybe one AI image is gonna look somehow weird and you don't know why.
Mm.
But if you are trained, you can point out like, okay, this is what it's wrong here, and maybe we can fix it or get it better. But in order to get this picked on, you have to train yourself to pick up this stuff from a AI image, you know. So in that case, it's also like, yeah, it's cool that you're using it, but if it's doing something wrong, you're not gonna know if you don't train yourself to do whatever the AI is doing. So I think, yeah, it's for now, it depends who you ask. It can be better or I don't know, but to us it's like that, and at least in this close circle that we have in our team, we are looking at it like that.
Even
Yeah.
uh, when it comes to your profession, to your job, do you have a dream, something that you want to achieve sometime soon or in the long run?
Mm, I don't know, like when I got here into Brick, to me it was one realization, like, okay, now I'm here, but now what? You know, if you are here, now you have to. My plan now it's just keep learning, keep developing, like all my career related stuff in my life. You know, like getting as far as I can here at Brick, but I don't have like any for now. What I would like is to focus more into personal stuff, like personal projects or personal ideas that I have. And this is something that I have been postponing, but it's something that I have to do, and I really want to do it to step forward into my. Yeah, it's a personal thing, you know, like some ideas that you have and you never do because you don't have time or whatever. But my next step is just doing my personal projects, coming to life and learning other stuff that maybe it's not related to the 3D world. But for now, this is my yeah my realization now, and I think career related. For now, I will be here, but personally, I will move forward to other stuff. So this is me for now, but I don't know. I have been joking with my girlfriend like maybe we will need to be like farmers in a countryside in Italy or something to be happy, just to be, you know, in the nature and with some farm animals. And I don't know, I can imagine myself like that as well. So yeah.
Sometimes the really happiness is in things that, like some people might consider simple.
Yeah, yeah.
But then again, simplicity is happiness in a way, right?
Yeah, yeah, for sure. But yeah, I mean, this is something that I always and every day question myself. Like, okay, I'm going to work now. Am I still enjoying it? And I answer myself like, okay, yes. So if one day I answer myself like, no, maybe 1 week straight, I will reconsider my position. Where am I? What I'm gonna do or whatever. But this is not the case. Every day I answer to myself like, okay, yes, I'm enjoying this still, and I'm excited to go and do this that I'm doing every day. Because yeah, maybe even if you have the best job for you in the world and it's not making you happy, I don't know, it doesn't make sense.
This is the
So
ultimate freedom eventually, right?
yeah, yeah. But for now, I mean, it's here. The happiness it's in myself here, and I'm doing something that I enjoy. So yeah, I think that's the important thing.
Ivan, believe it or not, we've been going on already for 50 minutes. I usually try to
Oh,
keep these conversations 45 minutes or less,
hmm.
but I just want to thank you for taking the time to talk to me. The conversations that we've had in Budapest were far longer than this,
Hmm.
but God knows, maybe this will give us a chance to make another video, another interview a little bit later on in your career.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. And would be great if I don't know, maybe someone can send you some really like questions related this field, and we can answer it together. Like okay, as
Sure.
far as we know, we can answer it. But yeah, we are missing a lot of stuff. But thank you for the opportunity, Fabio, and I'm looking forward to meet you again here in Budapest or on the D2.
Yeah, I'll see you at the D2 for sure. Anyway, just give a big hug to everybody at Brick, or at least the
I
people that
will.
I know, because you do get a lot of new artists all the time.
Yeah.
I'll make sure to leave all the links in the description of the video. Dude, I'm gonna stop the recording. Don't go anywhere
Mhm.
so that I can say thank you one more time. But thanks everybody for watching. I hope that you found a little bit of inspiration in this conversation, and I will see you next time.
Thank you.